channel. In the last video, I covered my personal journey as a business analyst. From where I started, how I got into this role, and my day-to-day responsibilities as a business analyst. So if you are curious, please go check that out. The link is shared in the description. So in this video, we are going one step further, which will answer to the following questions. Who is a business analyst? What are the key skills you need to become a business analyst? And can you become a business analyst? So don't worry if you are from IT, finance, or a non-technical background. This video will give you a clarity and proper direction to start your career as a business analyst. So let's get started. Let's get deep dive into who is business analyst. Business analysts act as a bridge between a client or a stakeholder and a developer or a tech team. Business analyst does the requirement gathering from a client or a stakeholder. Stakeholder can be anyone, any user, or any implementation or a support team who impacts the project. Business analyst prepares a proper user story document and pass it and communicate to a developer. In this slide, you can see how a business analyst collaborates with all the members involved in the project. The project sponsor is the person who provides the initial funding and a business requirement for the project to get initiated. Business analysts ensure that the requirements are captured accurately. Then, business analyst collaborates with the project manager to decide the scope and the status of the project. After that, PM aligns the task accordingly within the sprints. So, I will cover the sprint topic in my upcoming videos. Business analysts gather the requirements from other users or a business users or a stakeholders, analyze them, translates them into a FRD document or a user story, and then get it signed off from the stakeholder or a business users. BA also works with other stakeholders to gather compliance, legal, or any operational inputs from various departments. When the sign off is received from the business user and the other stakeholders, BA discusses the requirements with the PM, development team, and a QA team, ensuring that the document is clearly understood to the developers such that they can build the proper solution. And the QA team is also involved in this discussion to prepare appropriate test cases. Post the development is completed, business analyst makes sure that he or she does the proper functional testing and pass it to a QA. Once the QA tests the whole product and the whole requirement, it goes to a client release. Here we can see the key responsibilities involved in a business analyst life. The most important is the domain knowledge. This is the foundation for business analysts for understanding the business domain, what they are working upon, such that it bridges the gaps between the stakeholders who is giving the requirement and the technical team who is going to develop the requirement. So domain knowledge is must. If, for example, if you're working in a cybersecurity firm, you should have a cybersecurity knowledge. What is the security? What are the security impacts involved in the project? Then second is requirement gathering. So business analysts, the main job is to gather the requirements from relative stakeholders or any or client who impacts the project. Then business analyst does a requirement elicitation. During elicitation, it actively engages the stakeholder to draw out the detailed requirement in a BRD document that I will cover in the next upcoming videos. Then business analyst does the gap analysis. What is a gap analysis? Basically, business analyst compares the current state versus the desired future state to identify the gaps that needs to be addressed. For example, if there is a product where you are uploading 10 GB of file and it takes 20 minutes to get uploaded, but your future state it should be in 10 minutes. I should allow him to upload within 5 minutes. So that needs to be addressed in our future scope. So this is how the gap analysis has to be done. Then business analyst post the requirement gathering, elicitation, and gap analysis. It provides a detailed solutions for the requirement. So business analyst has to write the whole user story for the requirement which has been gathered, and we call it as a FRD document, where the business analyst mentions the scope, the user stories, the user acceptance criteria. Post making the FRD document, business analysts get it signed off from the stakeholder. So, what does the sign off mean? Basically, once a requirement is gathered from the stakeholder, The business analyst has to make sure that this requirement, what is being gathered, is mentioned in the FRD document, that is the functional requirement document, and stakeholder has to give a thumbs up and go ahead that this requirement is written properly, and this is what I want. Post the sign off is issued from the stakeholder. Business analyst has to have a discussion with the technical team where a developers has to if they where developers and a business analyst have a discussion about the requirement, and if there are any inputs from the developers, business analyst has to cover that inputs if there is a valid input. If there are no valid input, the business analyst has to explain the developers that this is not how it will work, this is how it will work. Post the development team prepares the develops the requirement. Business analyst has to do the functional testing, where verify the solution what is being developed by the development team. Like, is it meeting the requirement which has been gathered from the stakeholder or client? Then once the development is completed, functional testing is completed, QA, it goes to QA. Then QA releases it to a release manager, and release manager releases it to a client. Once the requirement is being deployed at the client environment, if there are any support, for example, if there is any issue or any enhancement which is required in the current functionality or the current requirement, business analyst has to assist them and solve that enhancement or in a feature request in the next releases, the post discussion with the project manager. If there is any monitor, the business analyst has to track these requirements, has to monitor these requirement changes, ensuring that there is proper traceability and managing the scope of the requirements which is being gathered post the support and implementation is done. In this slide, we'll cover how you can be a business analyst. Can you be a business analyst? Of course, you can become a business analyst regardless of your background. Whether you come from IT, finance, or any non technical background, you can pursue a career as a business analyst. What truly matters is your curiosity, the desire to question why are things done this way and why not try it other way. If you are good at explaining things simply to others, then that's a great starting point to start your career as a business analyst. To become a successful business analyst, one of the most important skills is organizing the information. This includes creating checklists and planning how things should be taken up in the future with the current ongoing state. Last but not the least, if you feel something can be done better or you notice flaws in a current solution or any application or any web app, that mindset is very much aligned with the product thinking approach, something that fits perfectly in the world of business analysis. But to start, you should know where and how to begin. First, understand the basics of what a business analyst does. Is what are their roles and responsibilities? What are the key skills they required? Start developing those skills through various ways, such as doing certifications related to business analysis and product management. Begin exploring and working on tools like Jira, Power BI, Figma, SQL, and many more. Once you build your foundation, start getting hands on experience through freelancing or internship that offer BA roles. After that, you can confidently apply for full time roles. These skills and experiences will help you crack any interviews and land high paying roles. In my upcoming videos, I will be covering this all four sections where you will understand the basics of BA work, hands-on practice with tools like Jira, SQL, Power BI, free and paid certification links that help me personally to start my career as a business analyst. I will be sharing the free certification links through where you can start using this having a certification through for tools like Jira and many more. And you can also, I will also share the paid certification links for product management business analyst. So I will also create a video where I will guide you what are the things you have to put in your resume. So resume tips for BA roles, how to make your resume stand out and outperform others. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you're planning to become a business analyst, start your learning journey today with me. I will be sharing the PowerPoint link mentioned in this video in the description below. So don't forget to check it out. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share and subscribe to the channel. for more content on business analysis, product management, and career tips. Until then, keep learning and keep growing. Thank you.